Alicia's throwing up to keep her weight down to try and keep her boyfriend from leaving. Listen to our expert advice to stop the cycle of bulimia.
Nothing I did was working. The more I tried, the more out of control my eating became. Then, I did something I hadn't tried before. I became a savvy detective and figured things out. If I can do it, so can you. Find out more at solveyouroutofcontroleating.com.
Welcome to Solve Your Out of Control Eating. I'm Vicki Todd, psychoanalyst and eating disorder specialist.
And I'm Michelle Holtzberger, clinical social worker. But here in the online virtual world, we are savvy detectives
who solve real-life eating mysteries, like today's.
And we are going to teach you how to become a savvy detective too. So step into our virtual office for this brief therapy session. Then we invite you to stick around afterwards to hear our detective work and practical advice. Now, here's Alicia.
Thank God you were able to see me today. My boyfriend is in love with someone else. He didn't even have the decency to tell me to my face. He left me a phone message. He says he's in love with 2 women and he needs time to figure it out. Hopes I'll respect his need for space. Space! He's with her.
Oh, I can see how upset you are, Alicia.
Yes. I've been eating nonstop since this happened. I'm like a human vacuum cleaner. I can't stop.
You're upset and you're eating. Help me connect the dots.
I know that eating isn't going to help, but it does make me feel better. Only for a little while. Then I feel terrible. What I should be doing is going back to Jenny Craig. I did well with that program before, and I'm sure I can do it again. I'll lose weight and start going to the gym.
Help me understand, Alicia. You want to lose weight and work out
To get him back. But I know I'll never be as thin as she is.
So you know who she is?
Yes, Claire. She's a coworker. He's been talking about her for months. How smart she is, how positive, how she really has the boss's ear. I can tell how much he admires her. I saw her picture on his work website, and she's really thin. Even if I starve myself, I can't get that thin. I just don't have her bone structure. But everyone says I have a pretty face. Guys are more interested in bodies, though. I was so upset when I listened to his phone message that I threw up. But it wasn't the first time.
That you threw up?
Yes. Last summer, he told me that he thought we should see other people. I couldn't believe my ears. He was talking about getting married after he finished college. He even asked me what kind of engagement ring I wanted, a round or a square diamond. We even went by a jeweler's and looked in the window. I bought all these bride magazines, and we were looking at the rings. In fact, I had ripped out one of the pictures and kept it with me all the time.
So this really came as a complete shock.
Yes. What kind of ring do you want? And then he tells me we should see other people. But I don't want to see anyone else. I love him. We were at a park, and I literally got down on my knee and begged him not to leave me. I didn't even care if people saw me. I was so desperate. He said he wouldn't. At least, I think he did. I was so upset, I can't really remember. I've been throwing up ever since, trying to keep my weight down.
Trying to hang on to him?
Yes. And now, even that's not working. I know what you're thinking.
Tell me.
You're thinking, why would you want such a man? He's a total jerk. I know you would never put up with some guy who acted like that.
Because
You think too much of yourself to put up with him. And you would never make yourself throw up for any reason.
So why would you?
because I'm a complete nothing.
Now it's time for the detective work. This therapy session was difficult to hear.
It sure was. As always, I was listening for feelings, and I heard plenty of them. Plenty of anxiety, shock, sadness.
How desperate she is to hang on to a man who is ambivalent about her. How she's been vomiting to keep her weight down in an effort to hang on to him.
Yes, but the anger, this was so interesting. She handed that anger over to the therapist. I wrote it down. You're thinking, why would you want such a man? He's a total jerk. I know you would never put up with some guy like that.
Right? I know, I caught that too. She's convinced that the therapist wouldn't force herself to vomit,
Thinks too much of herself.
whereas Alicia kind of thinks of herself as nothing.
That says a lot. Alicia was not an invested child. Her low self esteem makes me wonder what happened in her family of origin. That's where our good feelings about ourselves originate. Our parents treat us as if we're highly treasured, so important, one of a kind, and we take in their good feelings and go out in the world seeking others who value us.
If our parents don't treat us as if we're precious,
Then we have an Alicia who appears totally dependent on external sources for her good feelings and who makes poor choices in regard to close relationships. But fortunately, Alicia has her therapist to assist her and help her see herself differently.
any practical advice for those who have low self-esteem and are not in therapy?
Well, let's leave it with Alicia. Sometimes it's easier to see in others. If Alicia feels like nothing, was it something she did wrong as a child to make her parents respond to her that way? Was she undeserving somehow of invested parents who treated her as if she was important? Or was it a parent problem? Did her parents lack good parenting skills, the ability to nurture, encourage, comfort, instill a sense of worth? I think the answers are very clear. Now use the same logic and apply it to yourself. If you have old hurtful memories, look back at them in bearable bits and see who possessed the shortcomings. In other words, challenge your self-deprecating beliefs and see yourself as you really are.
Very wise words. Very wise. Well, that's it for now. There's more mysteries like Alicia to come. Be sure to give us a like, subscribe, hit the bell, and share this with others so you can help us help others. And remember,
Keep searching for clues.